Have you ever seen a car and thought, that thing looks straight out of the future? Well, what if I told you that some of the most jaw-dropping cars of the 60s and 70s were never even meant to be driven by you and me? Concept cars are the glittering, futuristic dream cars that automakers use to get us all hyped up, only to never build them. In this video, we're diving into 10 of the coolest, craziest concept cars that almost changed everything, and the cars that actually made it to the streets. So, what did we get, and what did we miss? Stick around, you won't believe the crazy twists. Before we kick things off, let's hear from you. What's your dream concept car? Drop it in the comments below. Would you prefer a sleek sports car, or are you all about those futuristic muscle machines? Let's talk about it. 10. 1970s Chevrolet Aero Vette. Imagine a Corvette, but with a mid-engine setup that would blow your mind. Chevrolet teased us with the Aero Vette at the 1970 New York Auto Show, and let's be honest, it was gorgeous. The slotted wheels, the fastback roof, everything about it screamed future. But nope, it was never meant to be. Instead, we got the C4 Corvette in the 80s, and, yikes, not exactly the futuristic masterpiece we had hoped for. Tell me, do you think Chevy should have gone with the Aero Vette design instead of the disco-era C4? Let's debate in the comments. 9. 1970 Mercury El Gato. Here's a concept car that was the very definition of cool. Mercury introduced the El Gato, the cat, in 1970, built off the Cougar platform. It was sleek, it was sporty, and it had a stunning lime green paint job that looked like something out of a 70s dream. But instead of the cat on steroids, Mercury gave us the 1971 Cougar, and let's just say it was more meh than meow. The El Gato was wild. The Cougar, not so much. What's your take? Should they have kept the El Gato? Let me know. 1962 Chevrolet Monza 2. This one's a real head-turner. The Chevrolet Monza 2 was a rolling piece of art. It was based on the Chevy Corvair, but with that wild, swooping design and forward-hinged canopy, this car could have been the future of the convertible. But after Ralph Nader's famous Unsafe at Any Speed book, GM pulled the plug. Instead of the Monza, we got a slightly less exciting version of the Corvair. But hey, at least it influenced the Vette styling, right? Which would you have preferred, a futuristic Monza or the classic Vette? Vote in the poll. 7. 1962 Ford Mustang 1 concept. Before there was the Mustang we all know and love, there was the Mustang 1 concept, a two-seater, open-top speed demon. It was Ford's answer to the Corvette and European sports cars, and it was an absolute head-turner. But Ford wasn't ready to make it a reality. Instead, they gave us the four-seat 64 Mustang, which, let's face it, wasn't nearly as cool. What do you think? Would a two-seater Mustang have been a hit, or did Ford make the right call? Drop your thoughts below. 6. 1968 AMC AMX 3 AMC was hot off the success of the Javelin and AMX, and they had a crazy plan to take on the De Tomaso Pantera. Enter the AMX 3, an exotic, mid-engine muscle car. But after some brutal cost analysis, AMC realized they couldn't compete, so they scrapped the project. Instead of the AMX 3, we got cars like the Gremlin and Matador. Yikes. Let's just say AMC's sports car dreams didn't exactly materialize. What do you think of AMC's ambitious plan? Should they have followed through? Comment below. Number 5. 1970 Ford Mustang Milano. Ford was feeling Italian in the 70s, and their Mustang Milano concept reflected that perfectly with its sleek, European-inspired styling. This car was a beauty, sharp angles, a raked fastback roof, and even taillights that change colors. But instead of the Milano, Ford gave us the heavier, bulkier 71 Mustang. Ouch. Do you think Ford missed the mark? Should the Milano have been the next-gen Mustang? Number 4. 1964 Pontiac Banshee. Can you imagine a Pontiac car that could have outpaced the Corvette? Well, that's exactly what the Banshee was, until GM killed the project, fearing it would steal sales from the iconic Vette. Instead, we got the Firebird and some taillight features from the Banshee. Let's just say Pontiac could have had a real contender on their hands. What if the Banshee had hit production? Would it have given Corvette a run for its money? Number 3. 1970 Rapid Transit Concepts. Plymouth went all in with their wild concept cars in 1970, creating the Rapid Transit Trio, based off the Cuda, Duster, and Roadrunner. They were flashy, they were fun, but they never made it to production. Instead, we got, well, the standard Cuda and Duster and a rounder Roadrunner. Kinda missed the mark, don't you think? Which of these concepts would you have loved to see on the road? Let us know. 2. 1970 Ford King Cobra prototype. Here's a wild one. Ford created the King Cobra to take on NASCAR, but the car's handling was a disaster. With too much front downforce and no rear spoiler, the King Cobra prototype was a literal disaster on the track. In the end, Ford scrapped it, and we got more boring Torinos instead. But hey, at least we got the Starsky and Hutch version, right? Was Ford right to kill the King Cobra, or did they pull the plug too soon? 1969 Camaro ZL1 concept. This one is bizarre. Chevy almost produced the Camaro ZL1, a beast with an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch engine. But the price tag? A crazy $8,600. That's roughly $60,000 in today's money. Chevy killed the ZL1 concept, but resurrected it decades later with the 2012 Camaro. Talk about a missed opportunity, right? Would you have paid $60 for the ZL1 back in the 60s? Let me know in the comments. Alright folks, if you loved this walkthrough concept car history, hit that like button and leave your thoughts in the comments. I want to know which car you think should have made it to production. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you waiting for? Hit that bell so you don't miss out on future videos.